Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tips. My name is Julian, and this is the waiver wire video for part 2 of week 25 of the fantasy hockey season. Now, this is the finale. This is the grand finale. This is my final waiver wire video I will be putting out this year because this is the last week of the season, guys. So buckle up and be prepared to make the best possible ads that you can make to guarantee that you secure that fantasy hockey trophy. And I'm going to be helping you guys out with that, doing the absolute best I can to help you guys do that. As usual, guys, before we get started, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Still, half of you guys that are watching this channel are not subscribed. So if I helped you out at all this season, guys, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to me. Let's jump into the content now. Let's start with the schedule for part 2 of week 25. And on Monday, there are 10 games. Tuesday, same thing, 10 games. Wednesday, 3 games. Thursday is a busy one with 15 games. And then Friday, there are just 2 games. Saturday and Sunday, there's no more games. Friday is the last game of the NHL regular season. So, guys, the off nights are obviously Wednesday and Friday. And then Monday and Tuesday are busy nights, but they're not super busy. So go ahead and check your lineup. You may have room in your lineup on either one or both of those nights. So go ahead and see what you actually have the ability to add players into your lineup for. As for teams with a good schedule, the team with the best schedule is the Buffalo Sabres because they actually play 4 games over that 5-game stretch, which usually is not allowed. But for some reason, Buffalo has games Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I know it's because of rescheduled games, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. 4 games in 5 days. Definitely Buffalo Sabres are going to be your best bets for streaming. Now, unfortunately, no teams have games on both Wednesday and Friday off nights, unfortunately, so you're going to have to pick either one or the other. Now, these are the teams that have Wednesday off nights: Calgary, Dallas, Montreal, the Islanders, San Jose, and the St. Louis Blues. As you can see, out of those teams, Dallas and San Jose actually play 3 games, so they're probably the better bets if you want to add someone for each team for those games. But either way, guys, Thursday you're probably full anyway, unless you're really lucky, in which case maybe you can fit someone. So you'll either be getting 1 game on Wednesday or 2 games if you can fit someone the other day that the teams play. Now, Wednesday and off nights are fine, but what I think is a better recommendation is to scoop someone from one of the following teams: Buffalo, Colorado, Columbus, or Nashville. Now, these teams have Sunday off night, which is good. Now, all these teams, what they do have going for them is they play either Monday or Tuesday, and they also play on Sunday. Now, if you have room on Monday and not Tuesday, then I would go grab someone from Nashville or Buffalo. If you have room on Tuesday and not Monday, then I would grab someone from Colorado or Columbus, or again, Buffalo. Okay, so who has a bad schedule? Well, there's no team that has a terrible schedule, no team that plays less than 2 games, but there are quite a few teams, 12 teams, that play only 2 games, and all of those games are on busy nights. For example, Thursday and Tuesday, Thursday and Monday. If those are what those teams have, not the best. So the teams that do have that are Anaheim, Arizona, Boston, Edmonton, Florida, LA, Ottawa, New Jersey, Philly, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, and Vegas. Jumping in forwards that you can consider adding now, and first on the list is Braden Shen, who's still super hot on that line with Kyrou and Saad. Up to 69% rostered, so he may not be available anymore in your league, but if he is, definitely a great ad. Does have that Wednesday off night and plays on Thursday as well. Andrei Kuzmenko of the Vancouver Canucks. Doesn't have any off nights, but he plays both Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So Thursday you probably can't fit him, but Monday and Tuesday you may have room both those nights. Go ahead and check. If you do, Kuzmenko could be a solid ad. It's quite hot right now. Top power play, top line with Elias Pettersson. Definitely not a bad ad there. Jared McCann of the Seattle Kraken. Obviously, he's been the best player all year, and I love Jared McCann. And he also has those Monday and Tuesday games for Seattle, so I don't mind adding him for those if you can fit him in your lineup. Dylan Cousins is an excellent ad for this week because Buffalo, like I keep saying, guys, has an amazing schedule. They play 4 games. So if you can get Dylan Cousins in there for 3 or 4 of those games, that's a really good idea because he's got that top power play deployment with Tage Thompson back. That power play should be even more deadly now. And Cousins has been very good all year playing second line center right now. David Perron of the Detroit Red Wings has been their best player over the last couple of weeks, has been putting up points left and right. Definitely you should consider adding him. Next I have Brian Rust, who honestly has been incredible as of late, and I only included him here because of that. The thing is, he only plays Tuesday and Thursday, so unless you have room on both of those days, I wouldn't be adding him for the second half of the week. Now, I'm putting this video out pretty early, so if you want to add him for still the earlier part of the week and you have room for him in that part of the week or whatnot, or if you have room for him both Tuesday and Thursday this week, just go for it, and hopefully he continues that hot pace. Otherwise, avoid him. Michael Backlund of the Calgary Flames, 49% roster. He's our second line center right now with Jonathan Huberdeau and Blake Coleman. It's pretty good deployment for him. He's putting up points, so definitely keep him rolling. Alex Killorn of the Tampa Bay Lightning, 41% roster, has been rolling as well. Top power play right now for Tampa Bay. Definitely not someone I mind adding as long as he's this hot. Great addition for the fantasy finals. Then I have Jakob Brana and Sammy Blais of the St. Louis Blues. Now, Blais just got demoted to the third line. Don't really know what that's about. Hopefully he gets elevated really, really soon. If not, if he continues to not produce before this video comes out and he's putting up zeros, he may become a drop. But if he continues to produce, guys, Blais is definitely still an add. Him and Vrana. Vrana's on the second line right now in St. Louis, so he's definitely someone that you're going to want to keep on your team because he is producing. Next, I have Alexis Lafreniere, and did you guys see that goal that he scored against the Detroit Red Wings? Holy crap. That between the legs deke followed up by an amazing snipe. Wow. That was an incredible goal, and Lafreniere has gained a lot of respect from me. Hence that jersey in the background. That's why I got a New York Rangers jersey. I know it's an Adam Fox jersey, but Alexis Lafreniere has definitely gained a lot of respect in my books, and he's really hot right now as well. So definitely, if you can fit him in your lineup, he might be worth an add because he's actually rolling right now. Dominic Kubalik of the Detroit Red Wings playing the top line and has been putting up points as of late, so I don't mind that addition either because David Perron has been igniting him. Then I have Evan Rodriguez of the Colorado Avalanche, 15% rostered. And he is back on that top line with Nathan MacKinnon and Mikko Rantanen. While he's not on the top power play, that deployment is freaking amazing. So if he can stick there, guys, Rodriguez definitely has some value. And if you are desperate and you don't know who to pick up, a lot of these other guys that I've already mentioned are not available. Rodriguez could be a sneaky add for you. If you have room for him, remember, you have to check if you have room for every one of these players. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting an ad. But if you have room for Rodriguez, definitely worth an ad. Thomas Novak of the Nashville Predators has the Monday as well as the Sunday game. So if you have room Monday and Sunday, could be worth an ad here because this dude is rolling top line, top power play in Nashville, playing really well. Jack Quinn of the Buffalo Sabres playing on the second line with Dylan Cousins. Obviously hasn't been that amazing, guys, but Buffalo has such an amazing schedule. If you can fit him on 3 or 4 of those nights, that's definitely an amazing ad for you. Casey Middlestat of the Buffalo Sabres as well, playing on the third line now, but was rolling, replacing Tage Thompson on that top line. So hopefully he can keep up that momentum and keep putting points up going forward. Marcus Johansson has been incredible. I do not know how Marcus Johansson is not more than 4% rostered. This dude has been unreal. He's got that back-to-back Monday and Tuesday, and if you have room for him, I highly suggest you add him because he has been putting up a lot of points. Luke Evangelista of the Nashville Predators. I was going to put Brendan Saad here again, but I had him last week, guys, so you have him fresh in your mind already. He's on the top line in St. Louis, so definitely worth an add if you haven't added Brendan Saad yet in the deep league. But Luke Evangelista is also someone that might be worth a look, less so than Brendan Saad, but Evangelista is playing on that line with Novak as well as the top power play. So the opportunities are definitely there for Evangelista, and he definitely can pop off. If you look at his game log, he just puts up a lot of zeros, but he can also put up a super explosive game. So hopefully we can get that out of him. Then JJ Peterka of the Buffalo Sabres also playing on the second line with Dylan Cousins and Jack Quinn. Hasn't been that amazing, guys, but with the amount of games Buffalo has this week, could be worth an add. Definitely could have put up a couple points in 4 games. Jordan Greenway of the Buffalo Sabres, not my favorite add, but he has been putting up some decent peripherals with hits and shots. And he is getting third line deployment. Could potentially put up a couple points as well. Jumping into defensemen now, and first on the list is Bowen Byram. No surprise here. He has been rolling for that Colorado Avalanche, and he doesn't seem to be stopping. So if somehow he's available, add him. Evan Bouchard, 66% roster. Also rolling right now, being on that top power play in Edmonton. Definitely does not hurt. Like him. If you haven't added him yet, guys, do it. Then I have Owen Power of the Buffalo Sabres. And this is the first time I actually include him in the ad section of this video. I have not really been a huge fan of Owen Power fantasy-wise this season because he doesn't put up a whole lot of peripherals and the points are hard to predict. Now, on a week where Buffalo has 4 games, there's a good chance that you may actually be able to fit Owen Power, a defenseman, on all 4 nights. I would definitely take that gamble on Owen Power for all 4 nights if I have to, because Owen Power could put up a couple points, hopefully a little bit of peripherals as well on those 4 nights, but I'm mostly looking at the opportunities of potential points here. John Klingberg, 40% rostered. The Minnesota Wild has been hot. It's 3 points in his last 3 games. Is the top power play guy in Minnesota. So as long as he's hot, guys, don't mind streaming him for sure. And then Matthias Samuelsson of the Buffalo Sabres, 0% rostered, is someone who also tends to put up some pretty good peripherals, guys, is on the top pairing in Buffalo, so he gets plenty of ice time. And he's definitely worth an ad, in my opinion, especially if you're in a categories league and you need some blocks, some hits, some shots. But Samuelsson could be the guy for you. Jumping into goalies now, and I only really included goalies here that I think should get 2 starts this week, because there's not going to be any goalies getting more than that in all likelihood. So the first guy on my list is Carter Hart, and as long as he can actually get healthy, he should get 2 starts for Philadelphia. I am well aware that he's not healthy once again for Philadelphia, but hopefully they can end the season and he'll start a couple of games. If not, obviously avoid him. Don't pick him up if he's still day to day when you're listening to this video, guys. But if he does end up getting healthy before this second half of the week, Carter Hart should get a couple of starts, and he has been pretty hot when he actually has played, not injured. And then Ville Husso of the Detroit Red Wings, 56% roster. Detroit obviously hasn't been the best team in the world this year, but Husso came back from his injury and immediately posted a shutout. That is what I like to see. Husso hopefully has a lot of confidence right now and can put up a few more great starts. Should get 2 starts as well next week. Cam Talbot of the Ottawa Senators should see a couple of starts as long as Sogar doesn't steal them away from him. I don't see why he would at this point. Talbot has not been the best, honestly, but if you are desperate for goalie starts, Talbot should get a couple. Antti Raanta should get 1 to 2 starts. Now, Carolina has a back-to-back Monday and Tuesday, so Raanta definitely is going to start one of those 2 games against inferior teams. We should definitely win that game. And then I think that it's possible that they start him again on Thursday to give Frederik Andersen a little bit of rest before the playoffs start, because Andersen's obviously going to be their guy going into the playoffs, but maybe they rest him a little bit, just keep him fresh for the playoffs by playing Raanta on Thursday as well. It's definitely possible, so that's why I don't think Ranta's too bad of an ad this week. John Gibson should also get a couple of starts on both of Anaheim's games to end off the season for them. Obviously, he has not been that great, but if you're desperate, he is available. He is an option. For Seattle, honestly, Martin Jones has been seeing more starts as of late. So I do have Philip Grubauer here seeing 1 to 2 starts. Hopefully he sees 2 starts. If not, he'll see 1 and Martin Jones will see 2. I think Grubauer will see 2, but that remains to be seen. James Reimer should see 2 as well. Kakkonen also could end up getting 2 of those starts, so we're going to have to see. But Reimer, in my opinion, has been the better goalie. Got a shutout really recently, so he should see 2 out of the 3 San Jose starts. We will see, though. Then I have Alex Stalock, and based on the alternating goalie trend in Chicago, they go Stalock, back and forth. And I calculated Stalock should be getting 2 of the games, whereas Mrazek should only get 1. Obviously, that could change. Maybe they'll want to end the season with Mrazek getting a game on Thursday. It's absolutely possible. But if they stick to the trend, Stalock should be the one getting 2 starts. And that's why I have him here and not Mrazek. And then Devin Levi is someone who I'm really in love with right now. He kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't expect Buffalo to call him up, considering they always had 3 goalies on the roster. But then Craig Anderson got injured. And they're like, oh, why not continue to have 3 goalies on the roster? So they called up Devin Levi. Obviously, they're desperate to get into a playoff spot. Both games he played incredible save percentage, good GAA, just really, really good games. Now, if they want to get into the playoffs, they're going to want Devin Levi to play a lot more. And obviously, Buffalo, like I already said, has 2 sets of back-to-back. So he's not going to play, obviously, all 4 games, but could potentially definitely at least get 2 of those games, right? He's going to get 1 half of the back-to-back in all likelihood for both back-to-backs. Then maybe if they're really on the brink of a playoff push and they start him on the first half of the second back-to-back, and then they have 1 more game on the season and they have to win that to make the playoffs, they may start Levi again. So he could potentially get up to 3 games this week. So Levi is definitely someone I like for this week. Add him if you need some goalie starts. Michael Hutchinson of the Columbus Blue Jackets, 1% roster, should get a couple games as well. As Columbus does have 3 games, and Merzlikins still is injured. Obviously, if Merzlikins comes back from injury, don't be adding Michael Hutchinson. But if he doesn't, Hutchinson could potentially get a couple of starts for arguably the worst team in the NHL. So obviously don't expect too much, but definitely if you need the starts, he is an option. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. For those of you that have been watching the channel all season, I really do appreciate your loyalty and you coming back here every single week to watch me. Definitely really appreciate it, guys. So I just want to tell you how grateful I am that you guys are here and watch this channel, and I'll definitely be back next year posting more and more fantasy hockey. Obviously, this is not my last episode for the season, but if this is the last one you're watching, just know that I'm extremely grateful for you guys coming back every single week and watching the channel. Good luck with your matchups, guys. Take home that trophy, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.